something else that I think a lot of junior doctors and a lot of other doctors are interested in, is your position on the GMC, as it were, in terms of how it has behaved, how it has overreached at times, and in terms of what your position is in terms of defending doctors against overreach of the GMC and any sort of spurious complaints, and having doctors' backs, as it were, because there is a lot of concern and a lot of fear of people being unfairly treated and unfairly pursued by the GMC.
Well, I think it's fairly clear now that there is evidence that that if you are from a minoritized ethnic community, you will be more likely to be referred to the GMC. Your experience of that referral and your experience of the GMC is much more negative, and you're much more likely to be sanctioned by the GMC. And the GMC themselves have now put their hands up and they've looked into it, and it's pretty clear that that people are being treated differently, and there's no getting away from that. The stats are clear. And I saw a nice graphic recently looking at people's progression from A levels through to being a doctor, and what you could see is that people from minoritized ethnic communities had the same A levels, because everyone's got to get the same A levels to get into medical school now. So they all had great A levels. At medical school, things, their attainment was slightly different. Get to get to be doctors, and lo and behold, they were far more likely to be referred to GMC. It's like, what happened with these people who all started off as the same? Who what's going on here? We have been at the Royal College Psychiatry been developing some guidance around tackling racism in the workplace. And this, because this isn't just about let's face it, it's not just about the GMC. I mean, we saw the cases where people are referred for what appear to be really minor, sometimes spurious reasons. You sort of think, how come this person's been referred in the first place? And of course, then at that point, the GMC should have just said, there's no case to answer here, and sent it away. But so people are much more likely to be referred if they're from a minoritized ethnic group, and then the GMC are much more likely to take that forward. So there's something happening in the workplace, and we have, developing some guidance around that. And then there's something happening with the GMC itself. I think the GMC need to do some quite basic work around understanding the institutional factors that are behind this. I think they are starting to work on that. They actually just produced some guidance around tackling racism. They've got a hub, tackling racism in the workplace, their own hub. I think some people were a bit cynical about that, but my view is that I suspect that the people at the top of the GMC are trying to make a difference, but it's not the people at the top who are making these decisions, actually. It's the people at a much lower managerial level who are making these decisions. So there's work to be done. I think we'll start to see a difference in 2 or 3 years. One of my areas of expertise is inequality, full stop, for patients and for staff. And I would hope that they would be that, if I became president, I'd certainly be reaching out to GMC and saying, we want to work with you on this, actually, because this is bad for our members. And the idea that a doctor would be coming to work in fear that they might be referred to GMC, and then if they were, that they would have this thing hanging over them and they'd be treated very badly, because this is something, the GMC is meant to be an organization that promotes trust in doctors so that patients can feel safe. For that to happen, doctors have to have trust in the GMC as well. And at the moment, I'm afraid I don't think a lot of doctors do.
Certainly, there is a dearth of trust in the GMC in the profession, with the array of cases with Laptopgate, with a Bauer Garber case, with a huge array and reports of institutional racism, and we're very much looking to to get some degree of reform and acknowledgement and reflection and change, actual change in the organisation. And that's something that certainly, as Royal College President, as the representative of RCPsych, and well, getting involved with the BMA and our union, would be very interested in liaising with you on that, and having discussion with all the Royal Colleges in terms of how we can have a unified position for the profession in terms of engaging with the GMC and trying to change them for the better.